It's the new car! This is my 1977 Datsun 280Z, and her name is T. It's got 48,000 original miles on it. Let that sink in for a second. Original California car. It hardly has any rust, and I am the third owner of this car. What's going on, internet? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that might be new here, or for those of you that haven't been here in a while, my name is Lynch. I am a professional stunt driver, the owner of Chasing Tigers Racing, and I'm the very inconsistent host of this YouTube channel. But this is the new car to me. This is my 1977 Datsun 280Z. Today I'm going to tell you the story of this car, how I got this car, and why this car means so much to me. It's a little weird of a story, it's a little bit of a sensitive spot for me, but I want to share it with you guys because I want you guys to understand why this car is so special to me. This is where the story starts. So the CarMax selling my Tesla and my Mini Cooper. Surprise, sold them both at CarMax. But anyway, I was scrolling through Craigslist just because that's what car people do, right? Typed in Datsun 280Z. This car was on the 7th page of Craigslist. Buried. Had zero information. It had some pictures and it said clean title, no rust. And it said email me your phone number for more information. Serious inquiries only. I was like, alright, so I just emailed my phone number to this Craigslist email. And I was like, this person is never even going to find my phone number. Thought nothing of it, went about my day, finished selling the cars, went home. Obsessed with the color of this car. For those of you that don't know, I have wanted a 280Z or a 240Z since I was in high school. That's what I really thought would be a sick first car. But my dad was like, they are super old, you're not gonna know how to work on them, and you're gonna get stuck, and it's just gonna be more of a headache than it's worth. So I was like, alright, fine. But now, I know how to work on cars, so hence, here I have one. Anyway, next morning, I get a phone call, like 10 a.m. Is this Brianna? Yes, hi, how are you? How can I help you? Thinking maybe it's a stunt coordinator or something trying to call me for a job. And he goes, are you free today? And I was like, yeah. To go where? He tells me where. It's about 30 minutes away. And I was like, yeah, what time do you need me to be there? He's like, well, I have until 11. I was like, you mean my call time's at 11? You need me to be there by 11? He's like, no, I have until 11 free. And I was like, I'm sorry, who is this? He goes, this is the guy with the Datsun from Craigslist. I was like, no freaking way. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes, hi, sorry, I'm gonna jump in my car right now, text me the address if you can, and I'm on my way. I was like, I'll have 20 minutes to check out the car and just see if it's even worth it. I'm not gonna take my trailer, just gonna go and check it out. Go over there, this guy opens up his garage. This car is buried under 5 or 6 blankets. Dusty as hell. I get to talking to him. Eric explains to me that this car has always been a garage kept weekend car, and I said, how do you know that? He is a 70-year-old dude from Moscow, Russia, and this car was his best friend's car. His best friend was the first owner of this car, and he bought it off of his best friend's wife once his best friend passed away. Just to keep the spirit of the car alive, he still used to drive it around and stuff for his best friend in memory of him. He's owned the car for 20 years, by the way. He parked it 5 years ago in his garage simply because he tore some ligaments in his arm and he can't drive the car anymore. So he parked in his garage for 5 years under those blankets, just sitting there. And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah. I was like, was there anything wrong with it when you parked it? He was like, no, I don't remember how much gas is in it, but it was fine. I was like, would you mind if we try to start it? He's like, yeah, let's try to start it. Car needed a completely new battery, but I was just like, okay, well, I like the car a lot. I want to come back tomorrow and check it out if possible. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. This guy calls me later on in the day, and he's like, hey, I had AAA come to my house. He had them open the door, had them put air in the tires, and he went out and got a brand new battery for the car, put it in the car. I was like, thank you, that's so cool. But anyway, so then the next morning, show up to his house, and I'm ready to pick up this car. I have the trailer and everything. I was gonna back it up to his driveway, but he actually pulled the car out of the garage. He said that he got teared up pulling it out of the garage, parking it on the street for me, but I kid you not, this is the crazy part, okay? There are 5 dudes in his garage waiting to see if I show up to buy this car. Because they said if I didn't buy it, that they were gonna buy it. I was like, no way. He told me that right after I looked at the car, but he checked his email and he called a bunch of people and they were all like, oh, I want to come and see it, I'll buy it today. And he's like, no, I have a girl that's going to buy it tomorrow, but you can come here in case if she decides that she doesn't want it, then you can buy it. And so I grabbed it and I bought it on October 29th, 2021. This is where it starts to get a little eerie. I got some really, really good friends in my life, and my friends are practically like my family to me. And one of my best friends in the absolute entire world is Tiara Van Nortwick, and she's always been such a high energy character, and just she's like one of the most supportive people I know. And she was super excited about this car. She was like, oh my god, this is literally our ticket into SEMA. I'm so happy for you, super proud of you. You have to build it for SEMA. Super stoked to see what you do with it. What are your plans? Like, she called me right away and was just so stoked on the car. She told me that I had to name the car T, which is why the car's name is T. It's actually T for Tangerine, but I also named it T for Tiara. She actually ended up dying that night, that same night that I bought the car. I talked to her a couple of times. I talked to her earlier that morning when I got the car. Then later on I went to a Halloween party, was texting her and just like sending her pictures and stuff. She calls me, it was probably like 8:45 at night. She lives on the East Coast, so it was probably almost 12 o'clock in the morning for her. And she was about to leave this car meet that she was at. It was like a Halloween thing. And on her way home from that meet in New York to her home in New Jersey is when she died. She got in a really bad car accident. A part of me got really mad at myself for buying this car, because when the guy that I bought it from, when he told me the story of this car and told me that it was his best friend's car and his best friend passed away, and he just wanted to keep driving the car in memory of his best friend and to keep his spirit alive, I was so heartbroken for him. I gave him a hug when he told me, just because I felt bad, and I knew that it still hurt, even though it had been 20 plus years that his best friend passed away. I knew that it still hurt him though, and I just felt so bad. And the craziest part was that I told my friends that story, and it's just so crazy to me that Tiara died that night, and Tiara was my best friend. So that's like really, really eerie. It's really scary, and it freaks me out a little bit. But she told me that I have to take the car to SEMA, you know? She's like, you have to keep that spirit alive. We've always wanted you to build a SEMA car, and she always wanted to go to SEMA. She never got to go. I took her with me this year. I went to SEMA this year, and I had a Polaroid of the two of us, and I just took it around and tried to stop and appreciate the cars that I knew that she would have appreciated while I was there. Fucking Tiara. She told me it has to be a SEMA car, so I guess that's the plan. I guess that's the plan with this. I guess I have to do it. Right now, I'm just getting to know it and learning to love it, and, you know, trying my best to bond with it. So, this is T. Well, I guess while we're in here, I might as well show you guys the interior a little bit. This is the original steering wheel on the car. It is cracked a little bit. The dash is super duper cracked. I do have this piece that goes underneath the steering wheel, but it's like cracked, so it doesn't really stay on there. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about that. All of my gauges actually work, including my gas gauge, which is super exciting. As you guys can see, the car is an automatic. I do not plan on leaving it as an automatic. I plan on manual transmission swapping the car as soon as I have a chance. This is my makeshift cup holder for now, because this car doesn't have any cup holders. Here's the inside of the center console. Here's Tiara right here. Baby girl. My door panels are in excellent shape. The only thing is I gotta figure out how to keep these things up here because they're both cracked. Seats are in awesome shape, as you can see. I've been carrying my skateboard in this car with me because I just never know what's gonna happen. I might break down, or at least I have a way to get home. And I've also been carrying a fire extinguisher with me because you never know. Oh my god, I have to show you guys how stoked I am on this. Okay, so if you look, you see that plastic piece on the seatbelt? It's really rare to have these plastic pieces that aren't cracked. There's the interior, pretty much. Really stoked on it. So you guys, that is the story of this car. Like I said, runs, drives, super stoked on it. It's actually a pretty smooth ride. Definitely needs some love, but I don't want to drag this video out too long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you click all the internet things below that the YouTubers tell you to do. Tell me if you have any ideas for this car, because my creativity is just going crazy, and I'm really excited. So either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Update with all of the cars. The fan favorite, the race car. It's been a pretty good car, except for my brakes. We are going to be adding dual calipers.